Well, some new drama has unfolded. A few weeks, possibly even months ago, I don't keep track of these things, I did a video on Second Wind's Nick Calandra, editor-in-chief. He, along with some other individuals from The Escapist, were apparently laid off, and they decided to form their own gaming group known as Second Wind, and boy, they got quite an amount of money on Kickstarter, whatever platform they used to jumpstart the group. Many people actually enjoyed the content they created and continue to pay them on Patreon. And I think last I checked, they were making somewhere in the 40 to 50K a month range. Now, that may seem like a lot of money, but not really if you consider that there are quite a few people that are part of Second Wind, and that would barely be enough for one person to have a lower middle class income for the year. Not to mention benefits like retirement, healthcare, dental, vision, and all that other nonsense that typically comes with other good careers. I'm Fox, and this is RealMarcFoxx, your home for rational, reasonable, real gamers. Let's roll that intro.
And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors.
So, what has happened? Well, Frost, one of the members of Second Wind, has resigned and given a lengthy reason why. And why is it? It's Nick Calandra. What has Nick done? Well, what has Nick not done? Nick is a serial harasser. I previously uploaded a video of the harassment Nick sent my way. He was harassing me and then got his followers to harass me as well. Nick has also harassed people like Smash JT and 8-Bit Eric. Nick actually accused 8-Bit Eric of being a PDF file. Look on the screen for what that actually means. And this came from nothing more than 8-Bit Eric having a conversation on a live stream about the dating scene among adults. He was talking about the women at bars who are at least 18, if not 21 years old, and yet now he's accused of being a PDF file? Then somebody contacted his job and tried to get him fired, who we believe but cannot prove was Nick Calandra. So what did Frost of Rivia say? He goes by the handle @TheOtherFrost. I have resigned from Second Wind Group. I'll say more later, but I do want people to know where their money and support is going in the meantime. This is important because if you support Second Wind, or if you even visit their website, go to their videos, you're supporting serial harassers and people who approve of and support a serial harasser. Because Nick Calandra is an anti-gamer. Nick Calandra is woke, and woke is always anti-gamer, woke is evil, and it's anti-video games. Woke is destroying the industry. Businesses, studios, and publishers are shutting down because their woke practices are producing games that nobody wants and nobody buys. If you're a real gamer, as I like to talk about, then you should oppose woke at every chance you can. Moving on, Frost of Rivia posted a text box on his X account, which many people do, and I'm going to go ahead and read at least part of it. When I joined Second Wind Group, I was under the assumption that we were forming a team of creatives with equal value and equal say. Individual creators would oversee their personal series, and the group would decide how to run the business together. It is plain as day that we have recreated the toxic corporate environment we abandoned, led by a petulant wannabe CEO who overspends, overpromises, underdelivers, sows division, tarnishes our image, asserts his creative vision, and sabotages anyone's attempts to correct him, all while he fails his most basic duties. Joyrides around the world, clout farms, and expects the community and Yahtzee to foot the bill because Nick Calandra tanks our YouTube revenue and makes us undesirable for sponsors. It is beyond incompetence.
Wow.
And I wouldn't disagree with any of that. From what I've seen, if I were a company, I would not want Second Wind sponsoring my product. Nick Calandra operates in bad faith to serve his ego, and this group lacks the attitude and processes to properly deal with inaction and inability to deliver the core capabilities of our roles. The board of directors lacks a knowledgeable enough majority to see through even the most basic Google searchable errors in Nick's farcical directions and use their personal feelings as a substitute for information even when presented with dumbed-down versions at their repeated request. The rest of the owners have little knowledge of what's going on, and I don't fault them because that's the whole point of the culture of isolation. There aren't enough leads at once thinking there's a problem, the rest don't know of the problems, therefore there are no problems. All of my personal attempts to make Nick see reason are ignored. All of my attempts to make the leads aware of Nick's behavior are brushed off with minimal action. All of my attempts to raise concern for our systemic issues with leads are put off until after problems occur. I refuse to be subjected to this behavior any longer. I believe I've done everything in my power to address the issues for over 6 months, and I want no part in preying on the community's goodwill and Yahtzee's hard work simply because we can't run a business. At this rate, we don't deserve to run a business. Consider this my formal resignation effective immediately. Wow. That says a lot. When a group that purports to be dedicated to video games and to gamers goes woke, they always go anti-gamer, and then they suddenly find themselves anti-games. They begin not to just complain about games on the level of gameplay or graphics or the length of the game or the cost of the game. They begin to complain about the game and how it represents women, represents minorities, whether it has enough women and minorities, whether it has too many white people. What message does it send about capitalism versus communism? Is it socialist enough? Is it talking about current social justice issues? All of this nonsense is stuff that real gamers don't care about seeing in their games. That doesn't mean that real gamers can't care about these issues. Many do and have different opinions on it, but it does mean that real gamers do not want to see video games in the gaming community turned into another avenue for the wokies to push their far-left radical ideology. We don't want that. We want good games. We don't want to see a good game converted into a bad game through the perversions of wokeism, through groups, consultancies like Sweet Baby Inc., Black Girl Gamers, Baby Ghosts, and all these other groups that seek to inject games with ideology and propaganda. None of that is good for video games. It's actually really bad. The reason we see so many studios closing isn't just corporate greed, but it is a form of corporatism. What is that corporatism? Woke. Woke is corporatism. You know who's pushing woke, DEI, and ESG more than anyone else? BlackRock, the world's wealthiest corporation. No one has more money in this entire world than BlackRock. They have more money than most of the world's third world countries almost combined. This one company is so unbelievably wealthy, it would blow your mind. Look it up. BlackRock, all one word. BlackRock pushes ESG. ESG is woke. Woke is corporatism. You can't be woke without being a corporatist. You can't be woke without supporting big corporations, big government, and big banks. So, to Frost, you made the right call. I applaud you. That's the right thing to do. If you care about games and the gaming community, then you need to separate yourself from woke corporatist trash like Nick Calandra. And Nick, if you are watching this, you have me blocked on X, you need to get right. You need to get back to video games. Get back to gaming, video games, and the gaming community, and actually loving your fellow gamer instead of hating them and thinking that they're all right-wing racists and misogynists and homophobes and transphobes and whatever other nonsense you guys come up with. Stop hating your audience, and maybe your audience will stop hating you. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here, but don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and tap that notification bell icon. And a huge thank you and shout out to Super Real Gamer Drunken Dwarf and Real Gamer Cornelius Noland. And consider joining the channel. It's as cheap as $1.99 and you get to enjoy all these special perks. Click join now. And if you want to support my channel in another way, consider picking up my novel, New Tokyo. It's available on Amazon in Kindle, Kindle Unlimited, and paperback formats. Link in the description. And, as always, my friends, for Fox's sake, stay real, keep playing, and never forget, yesterday's tomorrow is today's today.
Thing sucks!
It's a list of stupid idiots, and all of you are on it!